And acknowledging the death of your fertility as a death, to me, makes me feel more grateful for the life that I still have. Day today. I am not rushing, I'm just quickly walking, I suppose, to get to work today. And I'm wearing black because, although I don't normally wear black here in Miami because it's not really a color that goes well in the all day long, very hot sunshine. But today we're getting headshots at work, and they want people to wear similar colors. So they requested black and they requested sleeves. And my backpack is heavy today because I also brought my Dyson with me to make sure that my hair looks the way that I want it to in my professional photos. I'm actually really glad we're getting professional photos redone. This isn't like something we do every year. But I did just change my hair, as you guys know. So this is going to allow me to update my professional look with my new hairstyle, which I love and am planning on keeping for quite some time. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a little update on where I'm at in my cycle. I have ovulated. I ovulated before I took my business trip to Denver, so I didn't have to worry about it while I was away from Steven, which was nice. And I'm now in my luteal phase, which is great. And as expected, I get hungry in the morning when I wake up, and it's nice to be able to have breakfast with Steven. But I also have my smoothie in my backpack as well, and my bone broth, which is the reason why it's so heavy. Yeah, so well into the luteal phase, about 6 days in actually, and no signs, no symptoms yet. My basal body temperature dropped a little today, but potentially from the, I think the guy tried to wave with the camera, potentially from the strength training that I've been doing. The strength training that I've been doing has messed up my blood work, and it's also messing up my basal body temperature. But ChatGPT said that after strength training, your body prioritizes rebuilding muscle overnight, which can lower your core body temperature because the blood is going to the muscles. So that is perhaps why. After last cycle, I don't expect to feel a lot of symptoms anymore. So I'm kind of coming to the realization that perhaps the symptoms that I was feeling previously was the healing that was taking place actually, through everything that I was doing for my fertility. That's what I'm telling myself now. I also am not doing the progesterone and oil shots anymore as a supplement to my luteal phase, because ultimately I felt like that was a sign of me not trusting my body. And I have done so many things to support myself and support my fertility and rebuild trust in my ability to get pregnant, and that I will get pregnant, that I just felt like that was not in alignment with where I was trying to get to and what I was trying to do. So ultimately it came down to just an emotional thing. Like there was nothing wrong with doing it. It did extend my luteal phase by about a day. Ultimately, I was still being guided by my body's own progesterone, and I didn't want to override that. So yeah, I just didn't feel like it was worth continuing. So I'm trusting my body this luteal phase, and we're only working with my own natural progesterone. And yeah, I feel good about that. I also feel good about the fact that I'm almost to work and my hair still looks pretty good. Apparently the Dyson in my backpack was just a little extra weight for me to to train with today. I have yoga tonight too, so that'll be great. Help get all that stretched out. Yeah, so that's where I'm at in my cycle. These walking vlogs are not going to be not just going to be cycle updates anymore. These are going to be just basically what is on my mind as I am walking through my 40s. And now I remember what I was going to talk about, which we'll have to wait for the next walking segment. But I was going to talk about how so far the entire decade of my 40s has been spent trying to get pregnant. So I'm kind of like looking around and being like, oh crap, I'm halfway through my 40s and I haven't even really taken the time to notice what it's like. The only thing that I do know for sure is that it's very hard to get pregnant in your 40s. Until next time, we'll chat about something else. A Wednesday morning and we're halfway through the week already. I thought today that I would expand a little bit more on something that I touched on in one of my previous walking vlogs, which is menopause, basically. Perimenopause and menopause. How do you deal with that when you're trying to get pregnant in your 40s? I do read all of your comments. And this is a question that I got actually. And my response was that basically I try not to think about it, which is essentially, yes, that's true. But at the same time, I can't deny that that is a very real reality for us women in our 40s trying to get pregnant. So first of all, I just want to say that I wouldn't be very concerned about perimenopause. Perimenopause, you can still get pregnant. You're still ovulating, and even if you went on something like hormone replacement therapy, I have seen women get pregnant, even doing hormone replacement therapy for perimenopause. So. And it makes sense, if your body is getting the hormones that support your cycle, it's also getting the hormones that support potential pregnancy, because that's what it's all about. So, but then the second thing about perimenopause is get your blood work done and assess where you actually are. I think it's quite possible that some of the signs of natural aging are attributed to perimenopause, or let me say it this way, some of the signs of poor health are attributed to perimenopause, when actually you just need to take care of yourself in a different way to support your fertility better. Because I had perimenopause concerns until I did my blood work at Function Health, and I've also going through IVF. I had my hormone levels tested fairly regularly with the clinic, and so I'm able to have a few different markers of where those hormone levels have been, and so that basically confirmed for me that I am not showing signs of perimenopause. So that's definitely something I would recommend if you're worried about perimenopause. then we have to think, then how do we not be afraid of menopause when we're on this fertility journey? Menopause is a real thing. It's going to happen to all of us. You know, it maybe sounds harsh to say it, but it is the death of our fertility. And I say it that way because, not because I'm trying to scare anyone, but because I think it's important to get comfortable with that idea. Nothing lasts forever. Even we don't last forever. And the death of your fertility is a mini death before the real thing. But actually, in our life right now, it's a transition. It's a transition into a different phase of life as a woman, and acknowledging the death of your fertility as a death, to me, makes me feel more grateful for the life that I still have. I think of it like this. You know, when you look at pictures of yourself from like 10 years ago, and you look at them and you think, wow, I looked so great then. Like, look at how young I looked. Look at how full my hair was, or, you know, things like that. You notice things about yourself that you weren't appreciating in the moment because you thought you were, you know, 5 years older, say, than when you were in your 20s, and you were focused on, and I'm saying you, but I mean me, but you were potentially too focused on the fact that things had changed from 10 years prior to appreciate where you were at that time. That is the thing that I remind myself when I think about going into menopause. I think to myself that, what if I don't go into menopause until I'm 55? It's possible. I think the average age of menopause is 55. Okay, that's like over 10 years from now. And I think about those pictures and I ask myself, do I want to waste the next 10 years of my fertile life worrying about menopause if it's not even going to show up for, you know, until 55 or even later? And my answer to that, and I hope your answer to that, is no, I don't want to. I don't want to look back on this last decade of my life and living in fear this whole time that something might happen that is still years away. I can't change that menopause is going to happen. It's going to happen to me at some point, and it's going to happen to you at some point. It's going to happen to all of us women at some point. And if you're in your 40s, it feels very close. While 55 is the average, you can go into menopause in your 40s, in your late 40s also. That's a reality. Essentially, only God knows how much time you have as a fertile 40-something woman. So that is essentially my answer to, what do you do about perimenopause or menopause? Well, you be as healthy as you can be and let God take care of the rest. But yeah, I don't think it's worth your time to be worrying about it, since there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know. I hope that answers the question more fully. And I think it comes back to accepting that there is an end to our fertility and trying to meet it with grace as much as possible. I think that's very character building. If we're going to suffer this much for something that we want so badly, I think that we should strive to use this opportunity to also build our resilience, our strength, and our character. So I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you in the next episode.